Hello, my dear kiddos. I hope you all are fine at your home. My dear kids, today we are going to begin our first chapter, that is, Who Did Patrick's Homework? It's my request to all of you, please open your honeysuckle book, the first chapter, and look carefully to your book, that to be the first chapter, Who Did Patrick's Homework? You can see there in the title itself, it's written, Who did Patrick's homework? And at the end, there is a question mark. Do you remember what are the types of sentence you have read already in your class 5th? Yes, there are four kinds of sentence. One is imperative, one is interrogative, the other one is declarative, and the last one is exclamatory. So, do you remember that what type of sentence is this? The title, Who Did Patrick's Homework, where you can find a question mark at the end? Yes, it is what? It is a interrogative sentence because as we have already read in 5th standard that a sentence which asks a question is called interrogative sentence. Yes or no? Yes. So here the title itself says that who did Patrick's homework, right? So here this title tells us the entire story of the chapter that who did Patrick's homework. So my dear kids, now tell me, do you like homework? Yeah, of course. We sometimes like homework, sometimes we want to spare our time just by watching television, right? Or sometimes we think that if there would be some magic, I would have instructed that so and so is my homework, can you please do it? So, do you believe in magic? Yes, sometimes we believe, right? So, do you ever take help while doing homework? Right? So, here in this chapter, who did Patrick's homework? Just think for a while, close your eyes, and just think that why is this title given as Who Did Patrick's Homework? Why the title is not different? Why there is a question mark at the end that Who did Patrick's homework? Here the sentence or here the title is asking us that who did Patrick's homework? Right, so now let us turn the pages and know that exactly that who did Patrick's homework, right? So here the Patrick is the main protagonist or the main hero of the story. My dear kids, here you can see this picture on the screen that a boy is reading lot of books, and there on the book a little tiny creature is sitting and he's pointing his finger towards the book. Don't you think he's trying to tell something to this main character or the protagonist here, whose name is Patrick? Yes. From this image itself, we can come to know that who did Patrick's homework, right? So let us turn our pages and try to know that who exactly helped Patrick in completing his homework. So I hope and I wish that everyone is curious to know that who did this Patrick's homework, right? So now let us move to the pages and know exactly that who did Patrick's homework and what is this tiny little creature trying to do in this story, right? So let me turn the pages and you also turn the pages. My dear student, if you open your page number 1, you can see there are a lot of paragraphs. In total, this chapter consists of 10 paragraphs. So here you can see on the screen there are blue colored used to write some of the glossary item or some of the meanings are there, and the red one is the, you can say, the summary of that particular paragraph. So it's my request to all my beautiful little kids, my creative innovative kids, that please turn your page of first chapter, and you can see the first paragraph, number 1, that it's written, Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played hockey and basketball and Nintendo instead. His teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it's true, sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus, but what could he do? Again, question mark. He hated homework. So here, this paragraph says that Patrick never did his homework because he found it boring. As we two kids sometimes feel that, oh God, why these homeworks are there all the time? Why will I do homework? It's sometimes boring. Similarly, the main protagonist or the main character of the story, whose name is Patrick, he's feeling boring in doing homework. Instead of that, what he loved? The outdoor games. What are the outdoor games he liked? Hockey, basketball, video game named Nintendo. Nowadays, you are so much crazy about what? Free Fire, or you can say PUBG, and lot of games. But this boy, Patrick, in the story, he loved what? He loved Nintendo, the name of his video game. Now, his teacher warned him to complete his homework, otherwise, he won't be able to learn anything. It was a fact because at times he used to feel like an ignorant person. Here, ignorant means who lacks education or he's totally ignorant. He's ignore, right? Who was completely helpless in this regard. He had no interest in studies and homework. Sometimes in your class as well, you would have seen few of your classmates who love outdoor games, who are good at outdoor games, but where we compare them in studies, they are very poor, right? So this type of character is Patrick here in the story. Now, my dear student, you can turn or you can see the second paragraph in your book, and I'll be telling you what is all about. Now let us move to the second paragraph. You can see in the second paragraph it is written, then one day he found his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. Grabbed means snatched it away. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. So here, again I'll say the red line you can see, or the red sentences you can see on the screen, is the summary of that particular paragraph, and the blue one is the glossary or the meaning to that particular paragraph or the difficult words inside it. So here in the second paragraph, the story tells us that one day he observed his cat playing with a doll. So this Patrick was having a pet cat, and one day what happened, he saw that his cat was playing with a small doll. And after hearing some sound, he turned back and he was surprised to see that doll. Why? He went to the cat, near the cat. He saw that the cat was playing with a small doll. And what was it? Do you know? It was a man of smallest size, means a tiniest size. The first image you saw in the screen in this video, a small tiny man named Elf. Elf means a tiny creature. So this man was a smallest in size. And what he was wearing? He was wearing a woolen shirt. So he was wearing a woolen shirt with an old-fashioned trouser. Old-fashioned trouser means short trouser which is of old-fashioned, right? It's not the update one or the latest one. And a tall hat. You can see the image. A tall hat which made him look like a witch. And the doll cried because the doll is a very tiny small creature and a cat is playing bigger than its size. Definitely he will cry. He will cry for help. And the same thing is done by the doll. He is requesting Patrick to save him and not to send him back to the cat. So in return, the doll promised Patrick to fulfill his wish. So that's what the magic starts now. Have you ever come across such magic that suddenly you are doing something and you are so tired of that you are thinking in your mind, or suddenly you come across such a creature and where the creature says you that I'll do anything for you if you save me. Similarly, this small little tiny creature, when he's in front of the cat, he's trying to ask for help from Patrick that please save me, don't give me back to this cat, right? So the cat is trying to play with the tiniest creature, and the tiniest creature is trying to ask help from Patrick that please help me out, save me from this cat. If you save me, I'll do anything for you. So I hope the first paragraph and second paragraph is clear to you all. Now let us move to the third paragraph, my dear student. You can read out the lines from your book that it's written, Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all his questions, all his problems. So here you can see it was difficult for Patrick to accept that he was so fortunate to get an answer or solution to all his difficulties through his tiny man. Sometimes we come across such problem, and if suddenly someone comes and tell you that I'll help you out, then don't you think that you will be so fortunate to get help from that particular person that you are not even thinking about it, but suddenly someone comes and solve all your problems. So similarly this happens with this Patrick. So he asked him if he could do his homework till the end of the semester. So my dear student, here Patrick is asking the tiny creature that, okay, will you help me in doing homework till the end of my semester or the end of that exam? Semester here, it's a period of 35 days to help him score A grade, and Patrick was thinking that with Elf's help, he can improve his grade. So see how selfish you can say that instead of saving someone, he's asking help from that particular tiniest creature that if you help me, if I help you out, then definitely you should help me out in return. And this tiny creature says that okay, fine, I'll help you out. And what is the period time of helping? That is 35 days till the end of his semester. And here Patrick is thinking that with the help of this tiny creature elf, he will secure good marks, and that to be A grade in his subject. So here I hope you have understood this 3 paragraph, right? Now let us move to the 4th paragraph. You can see in your book, the 4th paragraph says that the little man's face wrinkled like dishcloth thrown in the hamper. He kicked his legs and doubled his fists, and he grimaced and scowled and pursed his lips. Oh, I am cursed, but I'll do it. Don't you think this paragraph is talking all about the tiny little creature's thought moving on in his mind? He is now helpless because someone is trying to help him. Instead of that, he need to fulfill Patrick's wish. So he's trying to say himself that what the hell is this? I can't help myself. Anyhow, I have to do because I have gave promise. So here, after hearing this, the little man's face gave a look of cloth lying in the basket. Sometimes what happens when we are having lot of cloth inside our room, if it is dirty, what we do, we just hold it in the hand and we just threw it out, right? So here, the same thing happens with this little tiny creature. It's like throwing a cloth inside the basket for washing, right? So he showed his disapproval for the work. He's not willing to do the work, but he have to do it because he have given promise to Patrick that okay, if you help me, I'll help you in all sorts of work, whatever you want to do, you want me to do. So what he does, he just kick his legs, doubling his fist and making unhappy face because he's not at all happy for the promise that he has done. He asked if he was that unfortunate to do the task, but he promised to do the work, right? So here definitely he have to do, or he need to keep the promise what he has given to Patrick. So now let us move to the fifth paragraph. You can see in the book it's written, and true to his word, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework, except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do and he needed help. Help me, he do say. And Patrick would have to help in whatever way. Now, this paragraph says that, and keeping his word, the elf started doing his homework. So now this little tiny creature started helping whom? Patrick. But sometimes he needed help as he did not know all the things. Do you ever think that a small little tiny creature who have never went to the school, how can he help? How can he read out all the books? How can he help Patrick? So he always start yelling and saying that, please help me out. Help me. And what does Patrick do? But sometimes he needed help as he didn't know all the things, then Patrick had to help him. Sometimes while reading Patrick's homework, the elf would say, crying aloud, that he doesn't know the meaning of that word. So give him a dictionary of something, or something that can help him to identify the sound of each letter. As my dear student, here what happened, whenever he feel difficulty in reading, he always yell, he always shout, he always cry and say, please help me out, I don't know how to pronounce, I don't know what this book is telling all about. So in every sentence, in every word, he's trying to cry out aloud and say, it's not that crying, he's shouting, he's saying that please help me out, Patrick, I'm not able to understand, please get me a dictionary, please make me pronounce that particular word, I'm not able to pronounce the word, please give me a dictionary so that I can identify the word, so that I can understand that particular word and I can help you. So this was all the problem or all the glitch that the tiny little creature was facing, right? Now let us move to the sixth paragraph. So the sixth paragraph says that when it came to maths, Patrick was out of luck. So here it's saying that the elf knew nothing of maths because he's not able to understand maths. And all the concepts of maths were completely strange or odd things. Definitely, if someone is not good at maths, then everything 2 plus 2 will be also sometimes 6, and 2 plus 2 sometimes for a particular student who love math will say 4, right? So after all, it's a small tiny creature, then how can he understand the concept of maths? Similarly, here the elf is facing problem in maths. I know few of you love maths and few of you hate maths. It's not hating maths, it's that we don't know maths, right? So here similarly, this elf faced lot of problem in maths, and Patrick was unfortunate in this matter. The elf explained that elves never needed mathematical concept like addition, subtraction, division, fraction. So Patrick had to sit next to him to guide. So here this elf is not able to understand what is addition, what is subtraction, what is division. So instead of that, what happens? Patrick sit near him and he started making him understand. So in that way, can you think what would have happened with Patrick? Yes. So Patrick had to sit next to him to guide, and even he did not know anything of human history, and it was completely strange to him. And thus he screamed at him to visit the library, get him more books and help him to read as well. So this elf, he was unaware, he was not able to understand what is addition, what is subtraction, and he was facing lot of problem. And for that Patrick have to sit near the elf, and elf used to say, Patrick, go and get good books, go and get books from the library and make me understand that particular concept so that I can help you, my dear student. Don't you think from this particular sentence that a thought comes to our mind that in this way Patrick would have understood the concept of maths better than Elf? Yes or no? Yes. Now let us see deeper inside the book and know that what exactly happened to this Patrick and what happened to the little elf. So now let us move to the seventh paragraph. You can see in your book, as a matter of fact. So here you can see in your book, as a matter of fact, every day in every way, the little elf was a nag. So here, nag means one who troubles someone all the time by complaining or asking them to do something. Means for every little things, they will go on complaining and complaining. That is called nagging or nag. So here this particular paragraph number 7 says that actually that little creature was either troubling, complaining or asking Patrick to do something or the other all the time. That means this little tiny creature, whenever he faced problem, whenever what? Every time he faced problem, and every time he start complaining that I'm not able to understand this, please help me out, get me a dictionary, go to the library, bring books, and so on. So in this way, this little creature was considered to be a nagging person, means complaining for everything, right? So he's trying to complain in everything. Now, Patrick was not able to sleep and was awake for nights together. Definitely, if a tiny little creature is not able to understand, and he promised that he will help Patrick, and Patrick is doing the same thing. He is bringing lots of book, and in that way he is doing lot of hard work, my dear student. He is bringing books the whole night, he is studying the whole night, he is making understand the little elf, and in this way he is improving himself. Who? Patrick. He had never felt so tired before and was going to school with his dull looking eyes. Because the whole night, if someone is helping you or if you are helping someone, then definitely you won't be able to take powerful nap or you won't be able to take the complete sleep, and definitely you will look so tired with your dull eyes and you will definitely go to the school with that dull face. So same thing happened with Patrick, and the whole night he was not able to sleep properly and he went so tired inside the school. So my dear student, let us move to the 8th paragraph in your book. Finally, the last day of school arrived and the elf was free to go. So here, finally, it was the last day of the school. That means the 35 days of semester is end now. So it was the last day of the school and the elf had complete freedom to go as there was no more homework to do. So without speaking anything, in a secretive manner, he moved out from the back door. So the promise is done. It's already 35 days. So he has already done with his promise and it's time to be free. So what this tiny little creature did, he slowly moved from the backyard or from the back door secretively without telling anyone, right? Now see the paragraph number 9. Patrick got his A's. His classmates were amazed. So here Patrick scored A grade, and definitely a person who has not yet never ever secured A grade, suddenly he secure or she secure A grade, then definitely we will be surprised to hear that score. Right or wrong? Yes. So here Patrick, the same thing happened with Patrick. He scored A grade in the class and his classmates were surprised. And teachers were full of appreciation. Definitely, if you are the topper of your class, then definitely your teacher will appreciate. Or if you were an average student and if you have secured A plus in your exam, then definitely the teacher appreciate that particular person. Right or wrong? Yes. So here, same thing happened with the Patrick. So he is being appreciated by each of the teacher that he secured A grade. Now, parents were trying to know what made him so perfect. What had happened to him? He became an exemplary child who cleaned his room himself. Now he is obedient. He is a very good child. Parents is even thinking that what happened to this child that he is completely changed. Who cleaned his room himself? He did all his work. He became happy child who was never rude and developed a complete new self and look. Means he's completely transformed. What happened to Patrick? His parent is thinking that what happened within a night that he's being changed. What happened to this boy who was not living that in a proper way? Now he's cleaning his room, he's happy, he's doing his work, he's doing his homework. What happened to this child? So this was the surprise and the face of parents as well as the teacher as well as the classmates. So all are in dilemma. What is happening? How can it be possible? Right? So let us move to the next paragraph. So the last paragraph you can see in your book, number 10, you see in the end, Patrick still thought he do made that tiny man do all his homework. Right? But I'll share a secret just between you and me. It wasn't the elf. Patrick had done it himself. So here this paragraph says that I would like to say that it was not the elf, but Patrick himself who did his work. And the elf just propelled him to do everything. Means here this is not Patrick or this is not elf. You may be thinking like this, right? My dear student, it's Patrick who did the homework by himself, and it was the little tiny creature who just propelled him, who just guided him, who just told him, who just nagged him for each and every work that you please help me out in knowing all this concept. So this is what the story all about. So my dear student, it's my request to all my dear kids, please read it thoroughly. Read it by yourself. If you face any problem, please ping me up anytime. I'm there to clarify your doubts, my dear kids. And try to understand, be a good listener and try to focus that what I'm going to say or what I am saying while teaching. Right? So read it thoroughly, line wise. If you face any difficulty in any words, please feel free to call me. Please don't hesitate to say anything. I'm there for you. You can call me up. You can ask your doubt. Till then, have a nice day. Enjoy this lesson. Thank you all.